This podcast is proud to be part of the TalkSport Fan Network. TalkSport. Powered by fans.
The new Boost Mobile network is offering unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month for life.
That sounds like a threat.
Then how do you think we should say it?
Unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month for the rest of your life?
I don't know.
Until your ultimate demise.
What if we just say forever?
Okay.
$25 a month, forever.
Get unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month with Boost Mobile forever.
After 30 gigabytes, customers may experience slower speeds. Customers will pay $25 a month as long as they remain active on the Boost Unlimited plan.
We're BetMGM Sports and Casino. We know things aren't always golden. That's why we offer you the tools to keep your place safe. Set timeouts to always ensure you take a break when you feel like you need it. Set reality checks so you know exactly how long you've been playing. And set deposit limits to help control what you spend. Stay golden with BetMGM. Play responsibly.
18 plus.
Good evening, everybody. It's Thursday night, and welcome to a Tilton Talk Show special edition, sponsored by AMG Logistics. Another hat-trick of wins for Blues this week, in the last week or so. I'm Paul Hipkiss, and I'm joined tonight by the one and only Mark Meredith, all the way from Dallas in the US of A.
Good evening, all.
Craig Courtney.
Good evening, all the way from Solihull.
All the way in his robe from Coventry. Mark.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. Good evening. Happy Thursday.
Alan Watton. The chairman, Alan Watton.
Oh, yes. Good evening from sunny Sussex, where it's about not -10.
Mr. Chris Browne on the buttons.
Good evening from Solihull, the posh bit, not the rough bit where Courtney is.
I've got a train track behind me, so watch out.
The wonderful Claire Giblin.
Good evening. Near Pipe Hayes, near Sutton, but I'm trying to be more closer to the Blues area.
That's B6 territory, that is.
I know, you're telling me.
And I'm delighted to say our special guest for tonight is, well, one of my favourite ever Blues players. They're certainly the best left-back I've seen in my life at St Andrews so far. The one and only Mr. Martin Grainger.
Woo, 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 woo. Hey. Good evening, everyone.
How are you, Grainger? Right,
I'm good, thanks. Thanks for having me on.
I'll start with you, Grainger. I know you watched the game. I'm going to start because obviously it was so good on Tuesday night. And obviously got a trip to Wembley on the horizon again. I'm going to start and work my way backwards again, like we did last week with the Newcastle game and that. So I know you watched the game, didn't you, on Sky? What were your thoughts, mate? And give us your memories of this tournament as well, because I know you've played in this sort of earlier in your career as well before you came to us, didn't you?
That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this is a competition for the fans, really. I mean, for the club's stature, it's just another stepping stone to get back where they are.
Yeah.
And even from the outset, when we're going out to the dark stadium with the music, why not did not start the rendition of "Keep Right On" like they did against Ipswich, just to frighten the death out of them?
Yeah.
And I turned it off at the start, waiting for the game to start, and waiting for the "Keep Right On." I was getting all excited for that because I've not heard it for a while. But it's just fantastic for the club to get there. I was a little bit underwhelmed by the game, but it's great for the supporters.
Yeah, it wasn't the best of games, was it, really? I mean, credit to Bradford. They came and give us a game, didn't they? And they kind of were well organised, and we were finding it hard to break them down, weren't we?
Yeah, I just think, I've watched Blues a few times now. I was just expecting a bit more, especially at home in such a big game with that. I mean, I know what it's like to play behind that atmosphere. It just seemed like there was just no real drive. I was a little bit underwhelmed, really, but I don't want to be too downbeat on it because the club's got to a cup final at Wembley.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the Newcastle game was a bit more umph about that. Did you watch that one in the cup, Newcastle?
No, I didn't see that one. No.
Yeah, because that was a bit more like classic old St Andrews, I would say.
Maybe that's the build you play against the big sides. You know what I mean? Get yourself up for it, but you should. I mean, the game of that stature to get to Wembley. I mean, I'm jealous. I never got to play at Wembley, and even if it's an EFL Cup final, it's still Wembley for you as well.
Yeah. And give us your memories of this tournament, playing in it yourself. I know you come up against us in it in the past, I believe, haven't you?
Was that for Brentford?
Yeah.
I think, but I might not have been there then, did I?
I think
I
it
see,
did.
memory's gone. See, I'm getting too old. But I don't think I got particularly far in this competition. It used to be. Is this the old JPT?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe second or third round.
When you was playing, it was either the Leyland Daft Cup or the Auto.
That's it, Leyland Daft
Auto Windscreen Shield. But I thought you was playing for Brentford in the in '95. Was it? Did we play Brentford in '95? Sorry, I'm getting mixed up.
91.
91, wasn't it?
I was at Colchester then.
Okay.
Guys, did you not play the FA Trophy for Colchester?
Probably, but that's 35 years ago. I can't remember.
Yeah, it's a long time ago. But I mean, your memories in general of playing against Blues then, obviously, before you came to us. I know, obviously, your career started at Colchester and then you went on to sort of Brentford. But where were you spotted originally to start with, obviously, as a player?
What, as a youngster or?
Yeah.
Well, I was playing for my school at the time, and then a kid on my estate where we lived, his dad said, "Come over to Leyton Orient with him."
Yeah,
I went there. I got in the team and was playing schoolboy football, and then because I couldn't play for the school, they made me do every single sports discipline that they had, like cross country, basketball, and all that. So I was doing too much, so I give up for a year, and then a school teacher at Chase Boys School, local in Enfield, took me to Colchester, and that was it from there.
Yeah, and then on to Brentford after that.
Yeah, I was there. I mean, my nickname when I was at Colchester was Lars because I was chunky. And so I got myself fit. And at the time, I don't think I was playing at the time. And then David Webb took me out of the reserves and I went to Brentford, played some really good football there. And then Baz took me to Birmingham.
Yeah, brilliant. And the rest is history.
Yes.
Absolutely. So, but yeah, Claire, why don't you open us up then with your thoughts on... do you want to start Tuesday night and then we'll sort of gloss over the other two games of Charlton and Cambridge as well? But the one thing I want to talk about is officials at this level because they're pretty shocking, aren't they? I mean, Cambridge, I was quite impressed with the ref. I thought he did a good job against Cambridge. But other than that, we've had some absolutely shocking officials, haven't we?
Yeah, I think the whole season, the officiating's been really poor. I think home and away, I do think that they don't give us the fouls that we should have. I mean, to me, it's a stonewall penalty on Jane. Thankfully, they've come out today and squashed all the rumours, and hopefully he's only out for 2 or 3 weeks, which will be brilliant. Now it's time for Alfie May to step up. But I think, like Grainger just said, I just think that the game wasn't great. I think we looked really nervous. I think we looked really leggy. And fair play to Bradford because they were a decent team. I think they'll do quite well at this level if they come up. Yeah. I thought that the goal from Jay was outstanding. I think it was crying out for Laird and Anderson to come on to add a bit of pace. I think we needed that. I mean, I'm not, I haven't been a Lyndon Dykes fan, but great header.
Yeah.
And I mean, we celebrated and, 14 years on, we're going to another final at Wembley. Yes, it's not the FA Cup, it's not the Carabao Cup, but it's still a cup competition that we've been put in and we've been there from the start. So I just think that it is for us, it's for the fans. We've needed it. We've had all these years that we haven't even had a sniff of anything. So of course we can celebrate, and I just think, Watton played well. I think they all played well, but we just didn't have the flow that we normally do. I think Charlton and Cambridge, Cambridge, we blew them away. I mean, they're probably one of the worst sides I've ever seen down the Blues. I think we just absolutely, it could have, it's a shame really, because it could have been 6-0, couldn't it, Chris?
Yeah.
Could have gotten a few more goals. But we literally, I just thought, I like those goals taken really well. Charlton, again, we've won a really tough game. But I generally think this week's a massive week with Reading, Orient and Wycombe coming up.
Yeah.
And I've said 7 more wins and I think we'll be promoted because Wrexham seem to be wobbling slightly at the moment. But yeah, can't wait to go to Wembley. I'm really glad because we booked our hotel room in December. So I'm glad that we don't need to cancel or get rid of it. So I can't wait.
Brilliant, yeah. And Grange, obviously going back with comment you said earlier about not having played at Wembley yourself, if you had your time again, I mean, I'm going back to obviously the Millennium Stadium and, you know, the 2 cup finals that you played in Cardiff. Was you a bit gutted at the time that they weren't at Wembley?
Oh, it's every kid's dream to play at Wembley. The Twin Towers is just history, isn't it?
Yeah.
Colchester managed to get to the FA Trophy final when I was there, and I played 6 months that season, having injections in the top of my foot. Wasn't particularly playing well because I was in pain, and I got left out of the squad in the final. So I was fuming.
Yeah, I bet.
I went straight to the pub on the corner.
Oh no!
Yeah, so it's just. I mean, they wouldn't even let us get changed.
Yeah,
they said that you couldn't have an extra 2 get changed and warm up on the pitch, which I thought was a load of rubbish. But
yeah,
it was gutted.
Yeah, I'll get obviously the other guys' thoughts on the other games in a minute, but just tell us what it's like as a Blues player. You know, getting changed in that changing room, having walked out in 2 cup finals for us. I know it was at the Millennium Stadium at the time, but
yeah,
still a very special occasion, and it was still a great stadium as well, wasn't it? And the atmosphere in both of them was absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, and that's a lot down to one set of supporters, because when Birmingham supporters are vocal, they are loud. I always the best game I've ever played in for atmosphere, I always go back to the Ipswich game.
Ipswich, yeah.
It was like, even talking about it now, the hairs stand up on my arms. It was just deafening. And I think that basically give everyone an extra 50%.
Yeah.
And it helped. I mean, Millennium Stadium, that was good, but the home game, I would never forget that.
Yeah. I'll never forget the pitch either on the night as well. It was nowadays, was it?
Well, it probably helped us as well, you know. Especially with the first goal when I nicked an header from an inch. That's probably the only person I've outpaced is Jeff Horsfield.
Brilliant. No, brilliant night that was. Absolutely
fantastic.
Goes down as one of our special St Andrews nights.
I mean, cup final days. I mean, it's exciting for players, but really, it's your job. You're doing it's another game. But for a supporter, it's everything to have a trip to Wembley.
Yeah, I mean, it still hurts now as a fan, and I'm sure it does for yourself that, you know, the penalty on AJ that wasn't given, you know, I won't mention his name, but my God, you know, that was just the most obvious penalty you'll see that wasn't given.
Oh, the school teacher?
Yeah.
Yeah, but then, to be fair, what was that, about the 90th minute, wasn't it?
Yeah, something like it was pretty late on, yeah. I don't know if it was the actual 90th minute, or was it even in extra time? I can't even remember now.
Stonewall penalty.
Time, I think it was scored in the last penalty, didn't we? And then we went to extra time.
Yeah, then me and AJ mucked it up.
Yeah, I mean, with VAR back then, you know, we probably win the cup, don't we? We get that penalty and Percy puts it away.
Yeah, but like going back to Claire earlier said about the officials, I just think all officiating at the moment is poor. I think they're just trying to make it a perfect game, and it's not. Just let it flow.
Yeah.
And you're stopping the game for 2, 3, 4 minutes for decisions, and it's not that hard. No. I mean, if you had ex-professional footballers in those booths, you'll go straight away. That's not foul. That's not handball. They're taking so long. I just don't understand. It's ruining the game.
Yeah. They are taking way too long. It does need to be sped up. I mean, it's better than it was when it first came, but it needs to be quicker, doesn't it? They just need to get.
Yeah, but it was supposed to be for clear and obvious mistakes, but it's not. It seems to be for everything.
Yeah.
You know, it's just. I mean, I struggle sometimes to watch telly indoors now. It just drives me insane.
Yeah. I mean, having played obviously without it for your whole career, I guess, you know,
and it worked.
Yeah.
I mean, the big competitions. I think the main one was the Lampard goal, wasn't it? In the was it Euros or the World Cup?
World Cup, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, things like that. Yes, and a Thierry Henry handball against Ireland. Yes. Or an elbow off the ball. Well, yes. You know what I mean? But for tackles and it's just, I mean, we used to be able to not swear at the ref, but swear with the ref, you know what I mean? And he'd swear back with you. But now you can't do nothing.
Yeah, I know.
You know, I know kids don't want to see that when it's happening, but when you're in the lion's den and you're fighting for your club, things get heated.
Yeah.
Just let it flow.
Yeah, 100%, yeah. Mark Meredith, how are you, mate? Let's go back to Cambridge now. So 4-0, could have been more, couldn't it?
You know, I'm getting old now. That was 7 days ago. That was 9 days ago, wasn't
it?
I know. Yeah, could have been a lot easier. Well, I shouldn't say easier. It was easy. I mean, it could have been a bigger scoreline. You know, a good performance. It was a good result considering it was out one of our game in hands. You know, sometimes they can go on the other way for us when there's a bit of pressure on the game. But it was nice to be able to walk away there with 3 points on a game in hand, and then obviously go into Saturdays and win again. Another great strike from Jay on Saturday.
Yeah,
and obviously, you know, what we would call the big one on Tuesday. I agree with Claire and Grange on that. It was a little bit. It wasn't really a semi-final atmosphere. It's sometimes difficult to see it on the TV more than obviously being at the ground. But didn't feel like it. You know, one of the great semi-finals that we've been in before. Even back as a kid, and I don't know if it was because I was only 6 years old and 11 years old the last time we got to the finals of these cups. But even those semi-finals with Leyton Orient and I think Brentford the first year had that atmosphere. But I was just happy. I'm not going to go on all of the referee stuff again. I think everybody's touch point on that, and can't get any worse down there, unfortunately, right now with that. I'm so happy that Jay should be back in 2 and 3 weeks. Happy for Dykes to come on and get the winner. I know he's had a little bit of mixed reactions from everybody, including myself. So the fact that he come on and got that was great. And we move on, and I booked my trip to England, and I'm actually excited to see my first Birmingham game live for 11 years now. So not just a Wembley final, but actually my first game for 11 years. So yeah, I'm excited for that for sure.
Yeah, that's good. Robe, I believe you want your scarf back, I believe. Is that right? From 2001 semi-final against Ipswich?
Yeah, I was going to say, Grange, after the semi-final, there's a picture of you wearing a scarf.
Yeah.
It's my scarf. I gave it to you.
I need to lend.
No, I was going to say, because the scarves are pricey nowadays, so is there any chance you can, if you need it? Or...
I'll buy you one for the final.
Oh, fair enough. No, going back quickly to the other night, I mean, wow, we're back at Wembley, but like everyone else has said, the atmosphere, I was really underwhelmed. I thought it was really weird. It's almost like a league game.
Yeah. I thought the laser show was good, though, wasn't it, before the game? I was quite impressed.
Yeah, that was good. That was enjoyable. To be honest, Paul, I think there's a bit. I think there's a bit of nervousness. And it was weird being favourites. The Newcastle game.
Even the keep right on was subdued.
Yeah.
It wasn't like it normally was, and I just thought I was waiting for it, and I just thought, oh,
a bit of nerves.
Yeah.
I think it's I mean, I think of a weeknight as well when everyone's been at work all day. It's different to a weekend, isn't it?
Yeah.
Everyone's buzzing more after, because people have had more beers, haven't they, on a Saturday than they would do probably on a Tuesday. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But and the Cambridge, going back to the Cambridge game, it was like a training session, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I was in Malta, so I was watching it with a nice, sun in the sun with a bit of beer. But yeah, it was almost too easy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we're going to win the league. I can't see us not winning it.
No.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I'd even go as far to say we'd probably get away with the draw this weekend, because we just got such a comfortable cushion. Though I still think we'll win on Saturday, but yeah.
And Craig,
was
you ever concerned? Was you like me, not concerned even at 1-1 with 5 or 6 minutes to go? What were going through your head then?
No, I've got to say, I was as nervous as hell. But I was before the game as well, because I think going into it, one of the reasons for a flat atmosphere for me was because there was such a weight of expectation on that team to not only go out and win the game, but win it well.
Yeah.
There wasn't many people that called a 2-1 result. There weren't many people that even gave Bradford a sniff. But to be honest with you, second half of that game, they were the better team.
Yeah.
Dykes comes on. He's not right. He's not ever going to be the goal scorer that everybody thinks we were bringing into the club. Right? He is there. He's a poacher. He's a great header. He's set the new record, hasn't he, with Stansfield, or got a joint record this year of 4 games in the cup, 4 goals. So bring on Wembley and make it 5. It's that should be the challenge. But I think it was the build-up outside. There was that element of excitement, but as soon as people got in, I everybody around me was nervous, and it It was
It can.
strange.
Yeah.
I think that could be part of supporters because of what's gone on over the club over the last 10 or 15 years. Is just wanting it so much.
Yeah.
You know, and the supporters deserve it. You know, for excuse my French, for all the shit that you've been through.
Yeah.
You know.
Absolutely. Yeah. And my God,
that's exactly what we were saying inside the stadium. Is this has been 11, 12, 13 years of hell.
Like a circus.
You know, this is now our opportunity to say the club's well and truly on the rise. You know, the owners have backed us. The owners are getting us to where we are now, but still, those players on the pitch are giving their heart to get us through it. I agree. I don't want Wrexham in the final. I think whilst everybody that's looking at it from outside is going, oh, what a spectacle that would be. Imagine the worldwide audience watching it and everything else. Right? Nah. We want Baza. We want the Barry Fry final. You know, that's what it should. We want Baza to go and turn them over. And then we can look going and replicating 1995 because that's what everybody's is kind of looking at now, and the expectation from the fans is huge. I mean, Jesus, I hadn't even left the stadium before I was getting messages. When are the tickets on sale? I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Take it all in now. Still getting it today.
That was me.
It was you, but I also ignored your message, Robe. But I mean, the to go back on the officiating. The standard full stop is diabolical, and it's not just our league. You know, I'll come on to the ladies' game in a bit, but trust me, what we see down there for the men, it's no better when you watch the ladies' games. I sometimes feel for them because they're under that much pressure to ensure that things can flow or that the right decisions are made. That actually quite often they make the mistakes because they're trying too hard.
Yeah,
but I wholeheartedly agree with Grange. Let the game flow.
Yeah,
play football. Right? A tackle is a tackle. Just because somebody falls over afterwards doesn't mean you have to blow the whistle.
No.
Because, put it out to the listeners as well. But I often think to myself, and I've said it before, if Martin was playing a game now and put some of the tackles in that we used to see when he was on the pitch and do it now, there'd be no yellow cards or talking to. It'd be a straight red. But actually, it's the same bloody game. We're kicking the same ball. We're trying to do the same thing and put a ball into a net. So
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that though. You won the ball every time, didn't you, Grange?
Of course I did. Yeah. Intentionally, and especially leaving a little bit on as well.
Yeah.
But we all love that, and you've got to say, when you go down to St Andrews and you see that now, that's the thing that fires the fans up, right? And we miss it because the referees stop it. And it's not right. It's a game where people are going to go down. There is they're going to get knocks. They're going to get kicked up in the air every so often. They're going to fall funny when they're coming off a header. But it's the game. If you take it away, you spoil it. But, you know, I've got buzzing kids. And I guess this is the thing for me. 1991 was my first ever game watching Birmingham. Going to Wembley on that day with my old man and my brother, never forget the same.
Why did you leave it so long, Craig?
My dad would never take me, in all honesty, to the games because of the hassle that was going on at St Andrews.
You had to wait till you were 25?
It must have been old.
That's harsh. Josh. Do you know what I mean? We put in 10 years on me there.
How's he get a ticket?
Oh, well, that's the story behind that one. That's a different story. But this time around, you know, my youngest daughter will be 13, my eldest 16. So they're in and around the age range of when I went first time. But unfortunately for my brother, he's abroad, so he can't go. So my dad's going to come. So it makes it a family occasion. And I think that's where the fans aspect comes into it. This is something that the whole of the city and every Birmingham City fan that's been through the pain over those years now gets to go and have an enjoyable day out. And at the end of it, hopefully see us coming back with a trophy whilst we await the second one to be given to us, because that's where we all want to be.
Yeah, I'm standing there before kick-off and I'm thinking, my God, it's only 2 years ago that the lower Cop and Tilton were completely closed. We were beating the Baggies at home, and we were like a club that was just going to be neglected and falling apart. You know what I mean? And then
crumbling. Yeah.
You know, you fast forward 2 years now, and my God, what a difference! And to me, Alan, I mean, how good is it when the opposition fans? We've let Grainger have one. I'm going to have one now. How great is it hearing the opposition fans saying, "Where were you when you were shit?" I'm thinking I was sat here, mate. But
exactly, that's the answer. I was here. Yeah.
On the way, we're allowed one shit each. Pardon
yeah, there's 3 for the night.
I have to say, sitting here at home watching it, I didn't get nervous. First of all, I knew that when we scored, I actually got nervous after we got the winner, because I knew that was going to be another 15 minutes play after that, because the commentators were telling us how much was going to go. So I'm thinking we could have waited another 10 minutes to score that goal, and we wouldn't have had the panic. As it happened, we saw that 12 extra minutes out, or whatever it was, quite comfortably, and there was no pressure. I didn't enjoy the game because we didn't play very well. Simple as that. But the result is, at the end of the day, you just take the result. I suppose what disappointed me a little bit was we put our very best players out, and our midfield was probably the worst it's ever been. You know, Iwata probably was the best of the 3 foreigners in the middle, but it was probably his poorest game. Williamson just kept running into people. Paik, I don't think he had a kick till half time. But then up comes Jay, scores a wonder goal. You know, it's the latest goal of the season this week. You know, we just keep getting them. They're worldies. And where's the next one going to come from? As for going back in time to the various other Wembley finals, there's never been a bad. I'm lucky. I've seen 3 Wembley finals and 2 finals at Millennium, and we've only lost one, and we've cheated out of that. So you know, we and I don't care. I don't want us to play Wrexham either. Not because I'm frightened of them. Quite the opposite. But this Wrexham business, you know. I don't want to listen to the world's watching and the Americans. No. I'd rather play Peterborough, because, you know, Peterborough are a decent club who deserve the money. You know, I want us to beat them, and it'll be a good old English final.
Am I right in saying that Peterborough are the holders, aren't they, of this trophy?
They are, yeah. They won it last year, yeah.
And so they will have players with more experience than our players are playing at Wembley in this match.
Yeah.
So I think for that reason, I'd rather play Wrexham.
Sorry, Paul. Can we throw that question out to the viewers and to us lot? Simple question, who would we prefer? So
I think 50 at the moment. People are saying Wrexham.
Peterborough for me.
Oh, it's got to be Wrexham.
I think we can beat either of them anyway. But
the
one-off game, obviously. And these, you know, I don't know how many Peterborough players are left from last season that played in this match, but I guess I bet they've got at least a few. So that would probably put them in good stead, wouldn't it, against us?
What about you, Browne?
I would want Wrexham.
You'd want Wrexham?
I'd want Wrexham because Peterborough you're expected to beat with the season that they've had. I know it's the cup final, it's one-off, but Wrexham, that's a massive game. The 2 biggest clubs in the division, probably the biggest support. For me personally, I'd want Wrexham, and then do the double over them, league and cup.
Yeah,
which for me, Birmingham should be winning both.
Yeah,
the size of the football club and what they've done this year, and then hopefully they're planning for a top 6 finish next year.
Yeah, absolutely. And you came up to the Charlton game, I believe, on last Saturday.
Yes, and it's interesting that you've got Martin here today, because the trains were bloody awful on that
day. Not guilty, not my life.
It's only taken 34 minutes to talk about trains.
Martin was driving now.
I did not get there until 3 o'clock. I sat down as the whistle went.
If I was driving, you would have got there on time.
I bet. Oh yeah. Well, you'd have kicked somebody out of the way. That's for sure.
At least you made kickoff, Al. You weren't late.
I did. Yeah. Right. And then I had to go back on the same train because the Villa were at home that afternoon. The train was packed full of Villa fans, all from London. There wasn't a Brummy voice in it, but they got the scarves on and there was.
It weren't my train.
2.5 hours of that.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't have let him on. Fair play. You have a lot of football fans on your train, Grange, I guess.
Yeah, you do now and then, especially when Arsenal are at home, because we do Islington and Drayton Park and that. So yeah, being a Tottenham supporter, I'm not very happy with that.
Yeah. Do you ever strike up a conversation with them, Owen?
I try and not. It's just like talking to a Villa fan, isn't it? No, not with the Arsenal fans. No. To be fair, it's normally the early ones. It's not the rowdy lot, so it's probably families and that you take early on.
Yeah. I threw out on our page. I threw out a question to our viewers. The top 3 Martin Grainger Blues moments, and can anyone bring up some comments, please, just to run over with Martin? And obviously, we'll ask yourself as well. What are your top 3 ever Blues moments? But we'll come on to that after we've read a few out. Craig, do you want to...
I'm just digging them out, but I've also got, there's a very early on, Ian Clayton said, Grange, any chance you can give us some discounts on the trains for Wembley?
I've been waiting for that one. Ben Jackson says, Man United at home 2004, Sheffield United 2002, and being part of the team who played in our first Premier League game at Arsenal.
Yeah, that was an experience.
Yeah, I bet. Who was your pick that day? Was it Lundberg?
I think it was Pires.
Pires. Was he on the right, was it?
Sorry?
Pires on the right, was it?
Yeah, he was on the right. Yeah, he was playing just in between, so causing me loads of problems.
Yeah. Was it? I bet that was big. I bet that was a big, realisation of where you've obviously got to, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I think I mentioned it before. I used to say to my dad, the Premier League looks so slow. I could play in it. And after 70 minutes, I was one of the fittest at our club. After 70 minutes, I was gone. Obviously, they keep the ball better than what you do. But if it weren't for Darren Purse saving about 5 off the line, we would have lost 7.
Yeah. We kept the score down, didn't we, that day? Kept it down to 2, didn't we?
Yeah, Brucey said to us afterwards, he said, how did you like that? I went, I hated it. But it was obviously great to play in. But they are, the top players are a different animal of athlete.
Yeah, unbelievable. Yeah, it was just phenomenal, wasn't it then?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Yeah. What else we got?
Scoring with your first touch for Blues, free kick versus Man United at home, 2004 against Roy Carroll.
Yeah, it was the last touch. Last touch, not first touch.
Yeah.
Wasn't you injured then? Was you injured then, Grange, when you took that free kick? You went off just after, didn't you?
Yeah, I took I stayed on. So I come on for Stanley Zaridis, I think, in about 14th minute. And then I took a free kick around the 20-odd minutes, and it hit them in the shins because my patella tendon snapped. So then I was thinking it didn't feel right, so I was hobbling around, obviously playing. I didn't want to go off because I'd just come back from injury. Yeah. And Brucey was screaming at me to take the free kick, and I'm thinking I can't. So I took it, and I'm stretching a little bit as you see it in slow motion. That's because my knee had gone, and luckily enough, he fumbled it in, didn't he? Yeah.
The obvious Kevin Muscat into the advertising boards.
Yeah, that was a must every game.
Yeah.
And somebody asked earlier on if you still speak to Kevin or have you?
Yeah, we text every week.
He hasn't sent you a friend request.
No.
I remember one, Grange, away at Barnsley, and you hit one from miles out, probably on the other field, and it blew in the wind into the top corner.
The wind-assisted one, yeah. Yeah, there was a couple of similar one of them was at Oxford, I think, away as well.
Yeah.
But that was what did we win at Barnsley? About 5-0, wasn't it? 6-0?
5-0,
yeah. And it was one of them. I just went to put it in the wind. I would always wherever I was aim at the goal.
Yeah.
And if people got a nick on it, sometimes the keeper misses it, don't they?
Yeah. Claire, Yeah. Claire, give us some of your Grainger memories. I know you was only ever so young then, wasn't you?
Yeah, so Grainger, you were a part of my starting point of being a Blues fan. So I used to sit at the cock and watch you and Stan Lazaridis run up and down.
Yeah.
So I'm having a bit of a fangirl moment right now. But I think it will probably be the Ipswich game and the Muscat. I loved it when you went bang. Every time that you tackled somebody, they knew that you were there. And I think that's especially for like a left back, because I used to play a little bit of left back as well, to have you like smashing them. I was like, yeah, go on.
But it's just, I mean, you can't get away with it now, but I always used to think as soon as the game starts, and normally wingers were quicker than me. I was a good defender, but I wasn't blessed with pace. So I thought the first tackle I got, I'm going to leave a little one late on you to nobble you a little bit, slow you down. So you'd always get a free one. But now you've got no chance.
You do that in training as well, Greg?
Yeah, I used to train how I played.
Yeah.
And obviously tone the tackles down a little bit, but I would, if the ball was going in and I was out to stick my head in the post, I would. It was just, I had to train like that to play.
Yeah, 100%. Got to try to play,
yeah, and if people didn't like it, I didn't care.
Hey, Grange, just a quick one. I remembered, I think it was in the late 90s. We played Palace away and we had to wear their away kit.
Yeah.
What happened that day? Did we forget our kit or something? Or what?
Well,
Can you remember?
The kit man packed the wrong colours, basically, and it was too much of a clash. So I think a couple of weeks after, we had to do that again at Oldham.
And wasn't that that was your first goal for Blues, I can remember, against the Palace?
In both games.
Yeah.
Put in both games.
You like wearing the other kit set, huh?
Yeah, that was it, yeah. So it was a header against Palace and a free kick against Oldham.
Yeah. Some great memories. But give us a quick insight into what it was like playing for, obviously, the three managers that you played for us. I know, obviously, Baz signed you, and then, obviously, Baz moves on and TF comes in, and then, obviously, after Trevor, it was Brucey. But just give us a quick sort of, overview on the different. Was it a lot different playing? I guess it was a lot different playing for when you went from Barry to Trevor. That must have been a big change.
Yeah, well, I mean, Baz was, what he's like. He's loud. Every time he walks in a room, he lights it up. Trevor was a little bit different. Obviously, Trevor was mega as a footballer and what he achieved and what his methods were a lot different to Baz's. A lot more, I'd say, Italian.
Yeah.
It was Sampdoria, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So some of the stuff he used to do in training, the lads were like, what's going on here? And then to Brucey, I mean, Brucey was just a voice, wasn't a very good coach in my eyes. He had good coaches around him.
Yeah.
But in the end, I enjoyed playing for Trevor because I made him pick me. At the start, he was a little bit sticky because he signed about 8 left backs. But Baz was, I said, it's one of the best 10 weeks of my career.
Yeah.
It was just enjoyable to play for. He would praise you, but then he'll be in your face in the dressing room, spitting and screaming, and then he'll buy you a drink afterwards.
Yeah.
Where Trevor would probably sulk a bit.
Right.
He wanted to win that badly, like we all did.
Yeah.
But he took it. He would take it home with him. It's like if I lost, I went back to the family. I wouldn't take it home with me. That's work.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, Brucey, he was okay.
Yeah.
Wasn't great for me, but...
Yeah.
One more, Craig.
Yeah, we've got one which I thought was really poignant. Bridget Elizabeth Mills has said that she walked out with you as mascot for our first ever game in the Premier League against Blackburn in 2002, and is one thing she'll never, ever forget.
42.
And then Chris Newey. He said, Grange, how did it feel when we all sang Savo when you skied a shot into the stands?
He must have sang that a few times. A few shots got skied in the stands.
I remember them days. Savo. Yeah. But no, great time, obviously. And it was a pleasure to watch you, and all that sort of generation of players was just so special. And, as a fan, it was just amazing, brilliant. And we kept knocking on the door, didn't we? And obviously we had the playoffs after playoffs after playoffs. And that feeling, once we finally got over the line when Daz Carter puts that penalty away, it was just unbelievable, wasn't it?
Still for a kid, how calm was he?
Yeah, unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Yeah. Even his celebration, he just ran away just like that, then he calm.
Yeah. We've had him on here, and he said he's been nervous, taking penalties, more nervous as he got older, taking penalties for Solihull Moors than what he was then.
Yeah, I mean, Daz was like that in training. He was just calm.
Yeah.
You know, probably a better player than people give him credit for, to be honest.
Yeah. No, absolutely. But going back to the previous conversation, you know, there was only yourself, really, Jono and Benno, weren't there, from Bazzy's signings that sort of played regular under Trevor and stayed with us, really, wasn't there? Because
we sort of had to work at it, to be fair, because I mean, one of the comments I got from like the lads told me when I was playing, I think I give a penalty away, and Trevor called me a pub player.
Oh no!
Yeah. And,
oh no!
So they told me that. I found it quite funny, but yeah, I had to win him over, to be fair.
Yeah.
And that's how I trained. I trained, and he picked me, you know. And then the way I trained is the way I played.
Yeah.
And I think I had that Simon Charlton. There was another. I can't think the other Simon from Oxford.
Oh, Master
Marsh. Simon Marsh.
Yeah, Simon Marsh. I mean, God rest his soul, Abs, but he was a centre half in the end.
Yeah.
Even John Beresford, Burrows.
Yeah.
Tom Williams. He kept signing them all, and I'm thinking, why don't you just get rid of me? But in the end, I thought, no, I'll prove you that I'm worthy of playing the team.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I think I was one of the first on the list to play. You know, so he knew what he was going to get.
Yeah, well, you played right wing, you played left wing, centre mid, left back, centre half at times as well. You know, you've been all over the place, haven't you?
That season, I think I played every position, whether it started or I went up front against Wolves. I think when we was away, the only place I didn't play was in goal.
Yeah,
so I quite enjoyed that, because if you play crap, you're not going to get in trouble.
You got any funny stories you can tell us, like, you know, within the squad, or any good pranks or any sort of funny? Obviously, we know the one about Trevor with you know, put a price on someone. Was it someone fouling him or something?
We used to have because he was the best player in training, and he used to nutmeg you and laugh, and it used to really get people. So we used to have a little book to take him out. Like, everyone put a tenner in or whatever, and I mean, Dev done his eye one day, smashed the ball in his face, and then he give him 3 stitches in his shin.
God.
But that was just it. It wasn't the fact that it was Trevor and his manager. He was that good, and he would just meg you and laugh, and you just think, you've just took the mic out of me.
Yeah.
Like, if you was doing a crossing the shooting session and it weren't going well, it'd go out wide, you'd ping the ball out to him, and he'd whip it in, and it'd be like perfect all the time.
Yeah.
He was something else.
Yeah, and this is when he's in his like mid-40s, isn't it?
Yeah. And there was another one, we was doing a possession, and he was joining in, and the grass was a little bit long. It was pre-season, and he went, stop. We had to stop the session. His Cartier watch had broke and fell, and we had to find it in the grass. He found it, and he went, "Oh, good job, it weren't my gold one." It was like, but that was what Trevor was like.
Yeah.
But so there's a few stories, but there's a few you can't say. But
yeah, absolutely. And was training? I guess training was a lot different under Trevor than Baz, was it, or was it similar? Or
no, Trevor was. I mean, Baz used to come out in a pair of shorts, old high-tech high tops, no laces in, with a cap on, no top, brown, going, wee. His coaches used to do the session, but coaching obviously got better because we got better. We had Mick Mills, we had Ian Bowyer, Bowen, what was his first name?
Mark
Bowen was brilliant coach. Eric Black.
Yeah.
Eric Black, fantastic coach.
Yeah.
So obviously training improved, facilities improved, like it has now. I suppose if I went to Washdales now, I wouldn't recognise it.
No, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Not like when we first went, luckily you got one shower out of the lot.
Yeah. Well, the men's first team have moved now to the Elite Performance Centre in Henley and Arden now. So they've had the old Watton. Yeah.
Oh, I never knew that.
The men's first team train in Henley now, and the women and the academy train at Wast Hills.
Okay.
It's called Knighthead Performance Centre now there.
Oh, right. Is it nice?
Yeah. It's lovely. Yeah.
Well, that's what they're going to need, because you would like to think that they're planning now for the Premier League.
Yeah.
You know, obviously with the backing that they've got, and when we do go up this season, I think you're going to have to build a team around Stansfield, because the team that I'm not being horrible, but the team that they've got now I don't think it would finish in the top 10
in the Championship.
No.
Yeah.
I think they'll struggle. They need a lot more pace, power, and energy. And Stansfield showed his class the other night. He had nothing, and then he chests it down and volleys it in the bottom corner.
Yeah, brilliant.
Out of nothing. Yeah, so he's a really, really good player. And I think you're going to need at least 8.
Yeah. We have to rebuild again, aren't we?
Yeah, 'cause it looks like the players that you've got are, some of them I think could only play at that level.
Yeah.
You know, and the step up would be a little bit too big. And I don't want to knock them because I've not seen them the whole season. But
we're BetMGM Sports and Casino. We know things aren't always golden. That's why we offer you the tools to keep your place safe. Set timeouts to always ensure you take a break when you feel like you need it. Set reality checks so you know exactly how long you've been playing. And set deposit limits to help control what you spend. Stay golden with BetMGM. Play responsibly.
18 plus. To get people excited about Boost Mobile's new nationwide 5G network, we're offering unlimited talk, text, and data for $25 a month.
Forever.
Even if you have a baby.
Even if your baby has a baby.
Even if you grow old and wrinkly and you start repeating yourself.
Even if you start repeating yourself.
Even if you're on your deathbed and you need to make one last call.
Or text.
Right, or text. The long-lost son you abandoned at birth.
You'll still get unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month with Boost Mobile.
Forever!
After 30 gigabytes, customers may experience slower speeds. Customers will pay $25 a month as long as they remain active on the Boost Unlimited plan.
Forever.
You when you watch it and you played, you can see you're going to need a better squad than that.
Yeah.
But they're doing it right and they're going in the right direction. So
yeah. Are you still in touch with many of the lads that you played with at Blues?
Through social media, like I messaged Dev the other night when Celtic went 1-0 up. You sort of catch each other on X or whatever.
Yeah.
You get up a couple of times, like to games and stuff, but not too much to be fair, because we're all over different parts of the country.
Yeah, I've got a message for you actually off Devs. He said, top man, tell him I said hello and to come up to St Andrews and be the star of the day.
Yeah, I have got to do it again, but my son plays Saturdays, so that's why I never ever took a coaching role anywhere, because there's no amount of money you could pay me not to go and watch.
Yeah.
So I've hardly missed any games since he was 16. So
how old is he now? He's a goalkeeper, isn't he?
Yeah, he's 28 now. So he was in league, and then he was out. He's non-league at the minute, but I'll still go and watch. I go everywhere.
Yeah.
Football dad, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. They're fantastic. So no funny stories you can tell us then from beyond the scenes. Obviously a bunch of men in the changing rooms. He's like
funny stories.
Yeah, any pranks or funny stories you can tell us, or jokes, or I remember seeing you all in the Dome in about the year 2000 on your Christmas do, and Brian Hughes was dressed as Elvis. I can't remember what you were. But I remember seeing Brian Hughes dressed as Elvis, and Delia was like in a massive bloody jacket thing. I can't remember what he was dressed up as either, but you were all in fancy dress. In the Dome.
I used to hate that crap. Yeah, I mean, you have to pick yourself out and out. If you can, just go out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've got to go out, make yourself look stupid. But I can't really think of stories.
No.
Nah. I mean, there was one when we used to play away, but Ian Bennett.
Oh yeah.
Ian Bennett used to go and get someone's room key after he'd had his dinner, go to toilet in their toilet, leave it, and go back to his own room. He done it to Brucey one night.
Oh no!
Yeah, that was Benno's calling card. Every way trip.
Yeah.
You did Benno.
Brilliant. He was a character, weren't Benno?
Oh, funny, brilliant. Him and Jono.
Yeah,
they're funny characters.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
this is what I'm asking, like, because I know there's going to be some, isn't there? But it's obviously asking your memory to go back years, isn't it now?
Yeah, well, Jono, like, you'd have, just thinking of a few now, like, transfer deadline day. Jono used to come out with his phone on his ear, take round his head and train it. Like, just say the gaffer, he said, just in case I get a call. Every single transfer window.
Yeah, brilliant. Fantastic. Anyone else got any other questions you want to ask, Grange, while we're on the subject?
I've got to ask. We always go back and we talk about the Premiership days, but that first game against B6, the atmosphere in the stadium, the build-up obviously was again one for the fans, but we all hear the stories of not much of a team talk and just putting an article up on the wall.
Melberg.
Team up, Melberg, yeah.
Melberg.
What was it like in that tunnel? You know, was it as scary as what we all hear in terms of you guys winding them up?
And more. And more. It was, if it had gone off in the tunnel, it would have been over in seconds. You know, it was, we was never going to get beat that night, whether Enkelman made a mistake or not. It was, he disrespected everything about the football club. And us as players and you as supporters, and we'd won it before we'd even left the room, you know. And when we was in the tunnel, you could just tell. I mean, they were experienced Premiership players, but I know most of them were cacking themselves going out there because of him. And we done a number, so which was the first one for me and my only one, and we won. So I can take that to my grave.
Brilliant.
Never lost a Villa.
I remember standing there with about 5 minutes to go, 3-0 up. And we were all singing "Can We Play You Every Week," and I could feel the floor actually moving.
Yeah.
You know, if I'd have known what I know now about that stand,
probably why it went all funny. That stand, wasn't it?
We were in the middle of it, weren't we, Paul?
Yeah. That was right behind you, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's
nothing below us.
Wow.
Like John Meredith. Nothing below us.
I've got a question here from a 13-year-old. It's going to be his first time ever at Wembley. And here's a question, Martin. He says, what was your favourite moment at Blues, and have you ever played at Wembley?
No, unfortunately, never played at Wembley. My favourite moment at Blues is getting promotion to the Premier League. That's because it's your ultimate goal as a footballer. And I was at the club it took me 7 years to get us there. And I'll chuck another one in there, the Ipswich game. Always, that is the best game I've ever played in.
Yeah.
Better than the playoff final, the Ipswich game.
He got some great goals for us, obviously, over the years, and great direct free kicks, but some great assists as well. I mean, I remember you dink over to Hughesy against Millwall in the playoffs, and the cross into Debs against Wolves as well. You know, brilliant. I mean, great left foot, and that free kick for me at Rotherham as well away. Do you remember that one off the crossbar?
Yeah. But
you
remember McIntosh, their centre half? He scored a better one. His free kick was unbelievable. it was from wide on the right, and he powered it in the far, and it was like, wow. I think he's just upstaged me. But there was a good few free kicks. I did
away as well. Past Mike Taylor of all people.
Yeah, Fulham away. Yeah, I did chip in with a few. To be fair, I think I scored 48 in my career, something like that. One every 10, which ain't bad for a fullback.
Not bad,
is it?
Brilliant. So.
I was going to say, going back to the two finals, with the Worthington Cup final and the playoff final, were the build-ups different under each manager? Like, was TF, did he approach it differently to, say, Brewster would have done? What was the build-up like for each one? Was it pretty much the same, or did you know the team the night before? Or
you knew the team probably 3 days before, so everyone knows, because normally, if you're not in a team the day before, that's when you get people come knocking on your door. So they got that out of the way.
Yeah.
But it was pretty much the same. You do your, obviously, bits on them. You go down for a couple of days, do a bit of training, and then just relax, really, and just try not get too, what's the word, too overexcited about the game. So you just treat it as another game as much as you can.
Yeah.
Were you okay? Did you do that? Were you sort of excited the night before? Did you sort of sleep much? You know, how did you?
I didn't really get nervous. To me, it was just, I was more nervous of letting people down in the stand, if you know what I mean. Like, I know other things happened in the cup final, but when I missed the penalty against Liverpool, I was gutted for me family sitting up in the stand, you know, and obviously for all you lot as well. For me, I've missed a penalty. For them, it was like, oh no, Martin's missed a penalty, you know. So you feel it differently. But I did nerves, really, sleeping. No, it's just I just couldn't wait to get out and play.
Yeah, I think that's probably that playoff final against Norwich. You know, it was so tense. You know, being in that stand.
Yeah.
I think that's the most nervous I've ever been as a Blues fan, because we tried and tried and tried so many times, and I'm thinking to myself, this might not be our day today. You know, I remember Jono hitting the post with the header.
Yeah.
not our day today, you know. And then they go 1-0 up.
Yeah, because going on that, you know, my heart sunk because the ball come over and it was going wide, and I was looking where I was going to take a touch, and I was looking where I was going to go forward and then knock the ball, and it went under my foot. Yeah. And then they crossed and scored. I was like, oh no, not again. Yeah, I mean, you and Robert said it, wasn't it? But luckily enough for us, we got there in the end.
Yeah, also got the obviously the equaliser back, and then on we go to penalties, and yeah, we get it done. I mean, the penalties were just outstanding, weren't they, on the night?
Yeah,
everyone. Yeah. So you could tell that we practiced them. Every single taker was to perfection. But so what we're going to do now, Grange, we're going to play someone talking that you played with.
Yeah.
Tell us who it is.
Yeah, mood's good. Has to be. We've got a big game coming up tomorrow night, so it's important. We analyse Saturday. We look at the improvements we need to make. We spoke about it, but as you say, it's time to move on now. Focus on Lincoln.
I'm pretty sure I didn't play with him either.
No, you did. He was only on loan though for a bit. He wasn't. I could have put Skip on there or Jono, and obviously they just got it straight away. So
was he a fullback?
Yes.
Atherton.
Yes. Bloody hell.
That's impressive. That is
the best we've had on here, mate. That is because most players struggle with players they played with. You know, it takes them ages.
Yeah.
So we had Tommy Mooney on here a few weeks ago with Michael Hughes. Remember him, the Northern Irish midfielder?
Yeah.
And he didn't get him, did he? In the end, we had, yeah. So
Peter Atherton.
Peter Atherton, yeah.
I know it now, but I'm just saying.
Yeah. Now, obviously, the last time you was on the show, going back a few years, I think it was during COVID times, wasn't it? We asked you to pick your 1 to 11 of Blues players that you played with for us at the time. And Chris, have we got the team?
Okay, which was the one?
So the one with Horsing was what was picked in 2020.
Okay, so that's come up now on your screen.
You picked Grange, yeah. So you got Dev up front with Horse. You got John McCarthy on the right, Uzi and Skip in the middle. We Stan on the left. You put Jono left back, and you had Darren Pearce and Gary Rowett centre halves, and Jeff Kenner right back with Benno in goal.
Yeah.
But I believe you want to make one sub now. Is that right?
Yes, I would. Just in the style of play, and he could play in any team. I'd put Paul Furlong up front instead of Geoff Horsfield. That might be a bit controversial, but as a fullback, what he gave you to the team in hold-up play, finishing, his ability, he would run channels, his awkwardness. And I know Jeff is all that, but I think Furs was a bit more polished.
And joining us in a few minutes will be Geoff Horsfield.
Yeah, just on that factor, it's just, I mean, playing against him in training as well, he was so difficult to mark, Paul Furlong. And
good player.
If it wasn't for the injuries he had, I mean, I think he scored 1 in 2 for Birmingham. His stats, something like that. He was just an unbelievable as a fullback, as a target man. He had a little bit of everything.
Yeah, I always remember 7-0 at Oxford. And at Stoke away when he got the hat-trick when we won 7-0.
Oh, I didn't play that day. I was injured.
Oh, okay.
Enough. Or suspended, one of them.
Yeah, but he scored an unbelievable hat-trick that day, didn't he?
I mean, Furs could do everything. The only thing probably for Furs that the 3 years it was there, he drove up and down from London every day. You know, so that probably didn't help towards some injuries that he had. But he was a brilliant player, Paul.
It was good. Yeah. That season with him and Devs up front was
brilliant.
96, 97. I got the away shirt on now, and
yeah,
brilliant. Yeah.
I mean, what a good penalty taker as well, Paul was as well.
Oh yeah,
very, very good, calm. I remember going to watch him as a kid when he was at Enfield. That's how old we are. He used to jump over the wall and not pay to get in.
I do that now.
Yeah.
But if someone had said to you then, you'd go on to play with him.
It's surreal, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, I travelled up. We travelled up and back together for a year with Furs after the Barry Fry, because there was 5 of us. There was Hunty, Breeny, Gary Paul, Vinny Samways.
Yeah,
we was all travelling up in one car, and then they all got let go, and it was just me and Furs. But I had to move because he was late every morning. Every morning we was getting fined. I said, "What are you doing?" He goes, "I've got things to do." I said, "Do them the night before." You know what I mean? Every day he was late, but he drove up every day. He would stay up on a Friday.
Yeah.
but then he would drive in every single day for 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I agree though. If he'd have stayed fit for a full season, I think we'd have got promoted sooner than what we did.
Yeah, brilliant.
It's quality.
It would have been wonderful for Trevor as well, wouldn't it, to take us up? You know, he deserved it.
Yeah, bless him.
But yeah, absolutely. So, but yeah, no, great times as a fan, as I said earlier. So moving on then. We got anything else lined up, Chris?
I've got a question from our very own Adam Wilkes, which he put on the message board a lot earlier and we just missed it, so apologies, Adam. But he said, Grange, what is more satisfying? A free kick into the top bin or getting to your destination on time with the train?
Definitely a free kick in a top bin. As long as the train gets here.
A lot of people said wasn't your one of your favourite moments the Enkelman assist?
Yeah, well, when I watched it back, I see it again because it keeps getting rerun on Sky, and I actually try and clip it down the line, but boot it out of play. So I'm claiming an assist for that.
I think that's totally fair.
Yeah.
Now, we had a certain guy called Rob Carlos on the chat earlier.
Yes.
And he obviously mentioning your book that is coming out. So when's your book coming out? And tell us a little bit about it.
Well, I got approached by Paul Ryder, RPG Promotions, he said, look, we're with these publishers and the ghostwriter, Rob, would you be interested in doing a book? And I was like, would it sell? You know what I mean? There's no point doing a book if it don't sell. And he went, well, we've done a poll and you was top of the poll and would like you to do a book. So I said, well, if you think it'd be all right, we'll do it. But, you know, yeah, so it's coming out the 12th of September. I think that's the 30th year of when I first was at Blues.
Yeah.
There's going to be a do at the Macadam.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Q&A and a book launch. So it's, I mean, if it don't sell, it's just something that I've got. You know what I mean? Yeah. So hopefully it will. It's called Cut Short, but still had a blast. So and Rob, the way he's writing it is like, because we get sent snippets and like add and take bits out. He's really, really good, talented.
Yeah.
Ravilla fan, he's okay.
Sorry?
Ravilla fan, he's okay.
Yes, yeah. That was the only thing he said. I must tell you, I'm a Villa fan. I said, well, it's not your fault.
He's one of the few Villa fans that can write.
Yeah. Well, that's what I've had. People said to me, what is it, all pictures?
That's why he's got the really long white beard, isn't he? Because he said maybe not for the win a trophy.
Yeah. So people going to me, you actually writing a book? I went, no. I said, you see me trying to set this up. I can't write a book.
I believe you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, believe it or not, we've actually had him on here as well. He's a good guy. Yeah,
no, he's a really, really, really nice chap. He just talks the wrong part of the city, doesn't he?
Absolutely. Yeah, our crosses to bear, don't we?
Everybody has their flaws. I mean, we've got to give everybody one, haven't we?
Yeah,
100%. So, and yeah, Claire, what was your favourite game back when Grange played? Would you say if you sort of pick one game that you was at then? Sort of home and away. Did you do many away games back then?
I did a couple. It wasn't as many as I do now, but I think it would have to be the Ipswich game.
Yeah.
I just remember it just... Yeah, I went to the both of the finals at the Millennium as well. Broke my heart in one and then celebrated in the other. But yeah, I think the Ipswich game was just... spine tingling, even thinking about it now. That pitch was horrendous.
Yeah, it was.
And I generally think that we caused all the issues under the stadium because I was in the cop and I could feel it just slowly moving. You'd be like, oh, the stadium's moving, it's fine. But I think that's when like the keep right on really hit home. And I think recently, especially the Newcastle game, I felt it again. And I think like all the Premier League games, it used to just... the roar and everything just made you fall in love with Blues, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think there's an anthem anywhere else like it.
No,
there isn't. No, there isn't. But getting that far was a hell of an achievement, you know, to get to that final. When you look at the teams that we beat along the way, I mean, Tottenham away as well.
Yeah, mixed emotions for me, that one.
Okay. Why?
Oh, Tottenham fan.
Oh, yeah.
First one, yeah.
I had all my family in the Tottenham end.
How do you feel when you're a player and you're playing like against your boyhood club? Because I think I'd really struggle to play against Blues if I could play.
You want to win.
Yeah.
Win, yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
It's if I hadn't a win, it was like all my family would give me a load of stick, wouldn't they? So I had the one up.
Because you put a lovely cross in for Mark Birchall's goal, didn't you?
Yeah, really good finisher, Birchie, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. Yeah. Was you on Alan? Was you at Tottenham away then? 2001.
I was indeed, yes.
Yeah.
And there's nothing better. 60 odd years I've watched this team. There's nothing better than going down to London, especially midweek, and stuffing them. Don't matter whether it's Barney's, Arsenal, or whoever. It was a great night. And they sacked the manager afterwards. That's it, made it better. Because I didn't like George Graham because he's an ex-Villa man.
Yeah. To be fair, against the teams that we played now, we played really well in that competition.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And even in the final.
Because there was two players in their side that night that we signed.
Oh, yeah.
Clements.
Huh?
Stephen
Clements. Yeah.
Carr.
Stephen Carr.
Stephen Carr, yeah.
No.
Anderson.
Anderson.
Yeah, he was a good player, wasn't he?
Good goal.
That was the single-handed daily demolition night, wasn't it?
Yeah.
When he was unplayable. I mean,
that night.
as a defender, how would you have felt if he was coming up against you that night? Would you have done the good old, I'm gonna take you out in the first 5 minutes and make you know?
Yeah. I mean, people like that. I mean, when Dealey was unplayable, he was pace, power, didn't have the, I'd say, amazing first touch all the time, but he would power his way through. But yeah, certainly if he was going to the byline turning, I'd be coming in with 12.
Coming back to him and Unlove and Paul Furlong, that was a great trio, wasn't it?
Unbelievable. Going away from home, we knew he was always going to score.
Yeah.
Because you had Nuddy running off of Dealey and Furs as the target man. We was great on the counter attack.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember Wolves away when Dealey teared him a new one as well. He ripped him to bits. Even Unlove, Wolves away. I think
and the Albion games, they used to rip Albion apart as well.
Yeah. When them three were on song, we knew we was in for a good day.
You scored in the one, didn't you, against the Baggies at home, 4-0. Remember that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a right footer, I think. Heidi crossed it, didn't he?
Yeah.
Back and I just knocked it in. It actually come off a little bit of my shin because it bobbled up.
Yeah. This is how weird my memories are. Your celebration of that goal was the front cover of the season review on the video on VHS.
Oh, was it?
Not going like this, yeah.
Yeah. So most of the time when I scored, because I didn't score them, I didn't know what to
do. Mark Meredith, what about you, mate? What are your best Grange memories?
Obviously Ipswich for the whole team. I thought, and Grainger's mentioned that himself. I think that that's always going to live on with us. The Kevin Muscat moment for sure. Just more of a. But what that showed, I think, for you, Grange, is you wore your heart on your sleeve every time you played, right? And regardless if it was you or your teammates, you were always going to be there to back everybody up. So I think that's what, as fans, we loved about everything that you did, is that you were shown as the hard man out there, but we also knew that you did everything for that badge when you played. And then obviously just some of the goals we mentioned over the show, a couple of the different free kicks that we've seen you put in. One of my personal favourites was the Sheffield United game when we had to win to get into the playoffs. Yeah. And you got the first goal in that one. We won 2-0. I think for that was massive that day, and obviously got us to where we wanted to be at the end of it.
Yeah, fantastic. Brilliant memories. Ian Clayton, I know I already said it, my favourite Grainger moment, the win versus the Baggies, where Grange broke his leg and played on.
Yeah. Obviously, I didn't know. That was one of the freebies I was going. It was the first 40 seconds of the game. Ball went out to De Freitas. Yeah. So I went up and thought, right, I'm going to smash you here, because he's 6'3", quick, powerful. He sort of chopped it inside and kneed me in the side of the leg. I thought, oh shit! I'm sorry.
It's all right. We're at four.
I've got a dead leg, and I was hobbling about for, I think it was the 43rd minute. I'd obviously cracked it then, and then I was chasing Lee Hughes back, and it just felt like someone had thrown something against the side of my leg. The bone just snapped all the way through, and then I just thought, why am I laying on the floor? No one touched me, and then that was it. I went into the physio the next day. He's got his thumbs in it, trying because he thinks I've got a calf tear. I said, "You've got to stop. It's hurting." So we had an X-ray, and it was broke all the way through.
How long was you out for? You was out for a while, weren't you?
6, 8 weeks, something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Phil Williams on YouTube's got a couple of questions. He wants to know, how old were you when you retired?
I think I was 30. So that's what the book cut short. You know, you work all that way to get there, and it just gets taken away from you.
Yeah. How many red cards did you get in your career?
13, I think.
13.
I averaged 2 a season at one point.
I'll never forget the one at Gillingham. I think you took about 3 players out with one challenge.
Well, that was funny enough because we'd gone in at half time, and listen, sometimes players can have bad games. Brucey done it to me as well when I went for him. Trevor called me a cheat at half time.
Oh, why?
Yeah, he said you're cheating your team, and I just went. I see red, and I went to grab him around the throat. I got stopped by the fitness coach who sat me down, and I said, "There's one thing you can say to me. There's one thing I ain't is a cheat. I might be having a bad game, but we went out and I hit one in a challenge, which I got the ball. The second one was a little bit high, and then I'd gone off at 1-0, so we won 2-1. So I contributed to the victory.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah."
Oh, brilliant. And that famous picture as well of your boot in Richard Wright's face as well when he was at Ipswich.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, the cameraman done a good shot there, didn't it? But I didn't even get a talking to from the referee. It was a challenge that was there, and it's just the momentum that took me in, obviously, to Richard's chest and face, and the cameraman's caught it beautifully.
Did he play on after that? He played on?
Yeah. He didn't even. We got up and didn't even get a talking to from the referee. So that's what I mean. Now I'd been put in prison.
Oh dear.
James, can I remind you of a tackle
that
you made against us 4 days after the auto windscreen final? Blues played Brentford, key match, obviously two tops in the 2 teams top of the league, and that little man Kevin Francis, I think he scored, and you had your boot up. And I think he actually kicked you more than you kicked him. But
is that when he scored in the box and there's a picture of his foot, this ran by my ear rolls?
Something like that, yeah. But he didn't play again that season.
Oh, was that my fault?
You finished him off for the season, yeah. And then, of course, being Barry, he signed you.
Yeah, Baz signed me, but I heard a rumour that his 2 coaches didn't want me. I think it was David Howes and Ed Steen.
Ed Steen, yeah. At
the time, yeah, they didn't want me, but I mean, Baz was the boss and done the deal, and that was that's history.
You turned up at the Player of the Year dinner, didn't you? To come and see him. Turned up in your cardigan, and everybody else is in dinner jackets.
Yeah, me and the wife turned up at the Grosvenor after the awards had finished. He said, like, get down to the hotel, and we go up, knock on his room in true Baz fashion. He's got socks pulled up to his knees, in his pants, white shirt and a dicky bow, sitting on the bed.
Fantastic. That's what I up earlier because I knew we were playing I knew you played for Brentford in a big game against us, but I couldn't remember.
Yeah, we played at St Andrews. We lost 2-0. Did you beat us at our place 2-1? Not our place, Brentford at 2-1, I think it was, wasn't it?
1-0, I think. Mark Ward got the goal.
That's it, 1-0. Yeah, that was.
The home game was just after Wembley, wasn't it? Like 3 days after Wembley. Yeah.
That was the first experience of the atmosphere. But that was the home game. I think Dominguez played, and that was my first experience of Jose. What a player he was!
Yeah, he was.
He was one of them. You think I'm going to smash you, and all of a sudden, he's gone. really good player.
Daniel Ruan's asking on the chat if it ever sort of kicked off, any scraps that went on the training ground or in the dressing room amongst each other. Obviously, I appreciate you can probably only tell us so much, but
yeah, there's been in every dressing room I've been in. There's been punch-ups, but it stays. What goes in, it stays in there. You know? There's been fights on, even from in youth team days right up, there's been fights on training grounds. Someone's left a tackling on someone, don't like it. There's been punch-ups, but it happens.
Yeah.
There's no grudges held.
No. I mean, as a fan, I like that because it just shows that you care. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you don't know what's going on at someone's in their home life, and you've stuck a late challenge on him, he come up and he stuck one on your chin. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And afterwards, you shake your hands, get on with it.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, I mean, now they wouldn't talk to you and take your full socials, wouldn't they, for 6 months?
Yeah.
But yeah, it happens in every dressing room I've been in.
Yeah. And Dave Twine here is touching upon your short stint as a manager as well. He's asking what
the 4 days?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I was coaching at, I coached both my kids, their teams right up to they were like 17, 18, 19, whatever. And my Charlie was playing for Cheshunt at the time. And they had no money. They were getting relegated. And I said to the chairman, I said, look, he approached me to be the manager. So I said, yeah, no problem. And at the time, my boy was at Norwich in the schoolboys. So we was at Norwich at the time. We was doing like a pilot scheme down in London and then going up for the games of the weekend. So I took the sort of oversee the training on the Thursday. The guy that was doing it picked the team on the Saturday, so I sort of oversee the game, was on the touchline and that. And on the Tuesday, my son got signed by Norwich. So I'd had to drive him there Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday. So on the Wednesday after the game, I said, I can't be your manager no more. So he said, well, you ain't even started. I said, well, I was there for 4 days. But I said, he comes first.
Yeah.
You know, different circumstances, it might have gone well, but it was at the time it was destined for doom and gloom anyway.
Yeah. And obviously now, talk us through the life of Martin Grainger nowadays. I guess you're up early in the morning, are you, to be on the train?
3:30 this morning.
Wow.
Tomorrow I'm up at 4:45. So yeah, train driver. I mean, it's the happiest I've been for 10 years.
Really?
You know, it's a fantastic job. Obviously, you have to work. Football doesn't last forever. And people say, why are you not coaching? I like to go and watch my boys. Both boys play football. My young one doesn't play anymore. But yeah, it's a great job. I love it.
Yeah.
Martin, were you a chauffeur for a bit?
No. I tried to do the. I know that got a little bit misinterpreted. I went to do the knowledge, like the black cabin, because a lot of people I played with, the black cabs, and I was 6 months into it, and I was only really going out the weekends, and every time I went out, it rained for the whole weekend, and then I got south of the water, and I was doing, I think I was on about my 100th route, and a guy pulled over, and he said, "Oh, how are you doing it?" And I was saying, "How I explained how I was doing it," and he went, "Yeah, I was doing that. It's the wrong way, so I sold the bike." That didn't last long.
Claire, quick 5 questions, ready?
Yeah, I did about 10 minutes ago. Now, hold on. Give me
So I'm going to ask you a few quick 5 questions, Grainger, if that's all right.
Yeah, let's see if the old brain matter will be quick.
Okay. What was one thing you wished you were better at when you played?
Quicker. Had more pace.
Yeah. Who would you take out of this current Blues team to play in your Blues team?
Mansfield.
Who at Blues impressed you the most the first time you saw them train?
What, when I was there?
Yeah.
Trevor.
Which Blues teammate would make the best pundit?
Worried about what ingredients are hiding in your groceries? Let us take the guesswork out. We're Thrive Market, the online grocery store with the highest quality standards in the industry. We restrict 1,000 plus ingredients, so you can trust that you'll only find the best high quality, organic, and sustainable brands, all free of the junk. With savings up to 30% off and fast carbon neutral shipping, you get top trusted groceries at your door, and you can stop worrying about what your kids get their hands on. Start shopping at thrivemarket.com/podcast for 30% off your first order and a free gift.
Oh, best team. I'd go for comedy gold. I'd go for Benno or Jono.
Benno would be great.
Yeah.
I can imagine that. What would you eat before a game?
In the early days, I never used to eat anything, so I didn't like to feel full. But when we got obviously more professional at Birmingham, we got nutritionists in and all that. I used to get up in the morning, have tea and toast, and then I'd have a pre-match of probably pasta and chicken. Yeah. Nice. The more fuel you got in here, the longer you last, didn't you?
Yeah. What's the biggest thing you disliked about Birmingham?
you can swear and say
the owners.
And what was the best thing about Birmingham?
Supporters.
I thought you'd say that. That's why I asked. Good answer. What's the funniest thing you've ever experienced on a football pitch?
Ooh. The lady at Oxford away streaking up to Benno and he went to pat her on her breasts.
There's one to ask him next time we speak to him.
YouTube anyway.
Yeah, you need to keep this written. That could be what, Benno? You know, the Who. Did you have to perform an initiation song when you signed for Blues? If so, what was it?
No, and I wouldn't do it either.
What do you do to relax?
I like spending time with the family, my grandkids. I play a lot of snooker, golf, go fishing. Yeah.
Who's the best player you've ever played against?
Oh, best player I've ever played against? Probably Omri.
Yeah,
that team. There's loads from the all of them from the Premier League. They're not the most difficult opponents, though.
Yeah, I remember Thierry Henry when we played Arsenal the first time, and he ran from like the halfway line. And all of a sudden, he was by the goal, shooting and scoring, and I was just like, okay.
I was that was at home, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I was behind Waltord. I was behind Waltord, who flipped it round the corner, and before I turned, he'd scored.
Yeah. Quickest player I've ever seen.
I remember there being a power cut as well in that game. I didn't want the lights to come back on.
Yeah.
Last one then. If you weren't a footballer, what would you have been? Apart from a train driver that you are now.
It'd have to be a good one, a golfer.
Okay.
But you got to be in the top 10, otherwise you're not going to earn no money.
I've actually got a message which we've had through whilst we've been on here. I'm just going to read out what this says, and Martin, you should guess who this is from. But apparently you were winding up this particular individual along with the fullback right from kickoff. So you were flattened by them by orders of Baz. You're a diamond geezer. However, you've only got a right leg that's for standing on.
Ain't Muscat, is it, by any chance?
It's actually Kevin Francis, and he's just put you
an absolute big man. Oh wow! He's a policeman now in Canada, isn't he? The big man.
Yeah.
Imagine him chasing you. You'd be like, yes. He's the only. But I've referenced this about Kev before. When I first went to Birmingham and I signed and done the medical, we went in the gym and we was doing a session. They was doing a gym session. I think Kev was injured at the time, and Tatey was singing "Cockney Scum, Get Out of Brun." And Big Kev was hitting the punch bag, 32 kilo bag, and that's the only person I've heard hit that punch bag, and the punch bag was squealing.
Oh yeah, we've actually had Kevin on. His Baz stories are just.
Oh yeah, I mean, if he was with Baz for longer, I mean, like I said, 10 weeks I had with Baz was amazing.
Yeah,
brilliant.
Yeah, Craig, do you want to just talk about the women? Good result for the women last.
It was just while we got a couple of minutes left. So yeah, another win at the weekend, an absolute worldie. I mean, what is it with worldies being scored by Birmingham at the moment? So we've had the men trying to win their goal of the season competition, and at the weekend we had Shannon, who, wow, if anything, it's going to have to be an absolute total screamer to beat the goal at the weekend. But yeah, just off the halfway line, quick look up, spanked it top corner. Probably one of the biggest crowds as well that we've seen for a long time down at St Andrews. So thank you to everybody that attended. Well done. And a big shout out to Stacey, who it was her first day of running the women's OSC group. And, you know, we basically have doubled the numbers of membership just through that game. there'll be continued support as well that goes on for the rest of the season. But a bit of a break as we go through the international games now, and then again a while until we're back at St Andrews. So not back there with the ladies until the 16th of March. So, but again, build up towards that. And 3 games left, just 3 games left at St Andrews this season. So if you can get down for any of them, come along, support the ladies, because, well, we said we wanted a double celebration, you know, and that was going to be winning both the leagues. Well, now we could be doing a league, a cup, and another league. So let's go for it. Let's go for the triple celebration now at the end of the season. But keep an eye out on the socials. There's going to be loads going on with the women's OSC and all of the other groups, with the build up to Wembley, but also across all of the women's games. And any questions or any support that anybody wants, any schools, any associations or clubs that want to get involved and come and watch the ladies, get in touch. Claire, again, thank you for all of the people that attended last time around from the schools. But seeing the faces of people that don't normally get to a football game and seeing like they saw this weekend is great. And long may it continue. So, yeah, if you want to get in touch, sort me out with tickets, please give us a shout and we'll see what we can do.
We did start a few minutes later, Chris, didn't we? So we were all right just going a few minutes.
Minutes, yeah.
Yeah, I'll come on to... I want one last question, actually. Good question from Daniel Rowan for you, Browne. So how do your work colleagues react to you being an ex-footballer?
Yeah, you get some that are a bit over keen. You know, I mean, don't get me wrong, and I don't take this the wrong way. People like to talk to a footballer, and I sort of don't really talk about it unless I'm asked. So when we first went and introduction to the railway, we're sitting there, and they said, "What did you previously do?" And I told them this, that, and the other. I had a Liverpool supporter sitting next to me, and we went outside. He went, "I can't believe I watched you playing a cup final." You know what I mean? So it's a bit surreal for him. But we've got a supporter that works for our what's Richard Walker. He's probably so he's a big blue nose. So he keeps me up to date with certain stuff and all that sort of bits. He's right in there on social media with it all. I think his Twitter name's Blue Nose Backwards.
Okay.
He's on blue, yeah.
I know him.
Yeah, so he works at our company, so I get the ins and outs of the football club.
Oh, that's good.
As and when. But yeah, sometimes they say, you played in the Premier League, why are you not a millionaire? If I was a millionaire, do you think I'd be getting up at 3:30 in the morning? You know what I mean? But I said, it is what it is. It's work, isn't it? Just got to go work. Got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
We have one of those keen ones on the show, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
Alan's flag, bro. Show us your flag.
I'm not terrible at now.
No, I've got an auto windscreens flag from I dug it out and it looks a bit purple. So that's
claret, that is.
It's not. Look, from 30 years ago.
Take that one with you.
Hey?
Take that one with you.
Yeah, could do.
Yeah, there you go, Greg.
The only claret flag in the.
Oh yeah, don't take that.
It's a faded.
So turn up at the coach with that robe, and you're most definitely not getting on.
Yeah.
Well, I look forward to everyone, chucking it, dipping in, and getting me some stuff. So I look forward to it.
Okay, let's go around the room. Let's go around the room quickly then for predictions. Heading away, I'll start us off with a 3-1 win to Blues. Claire.
Oh, I think I'll take a 2-1 win now.
Okay. Alan?
Yeah, 2-1.
Robe?
1-0 Blues.
Mark Meredith?
I'm going to go 1-0 as well for me.
Chris?
Yeah, it's going to be tight, isn't it? 4-0.
4-0. Craig?
I'll book the trend and go with a 2-0 Birmingham.
Grange?
I'll go with your main man's out. We'll nick a 1-0 late on.
Okay, that'll do. Any win will do, won't it? Don't matter how what it's all about, innit? So, anyway, it's been a pleasure as always. Thank you everyone for watching. We've been the Tilton Talk Show, and Grange, thanks for your time, mate. You've been very generous with it, and thanks for the memories as well, mate. You give us some special times, and you just give us everything you got with that shirt on, and it was a pleasure to sit there and watch, mate.
No, thank you. Thanks for having me. Hopefully, I'm trying my best to get a ticket for the cup final and come jumping with all you fans.
Oh, that'd be
You
great.
can sit by me, Grainger. We'll be at the bottom in the expensive seats.
Hey, Claire, you promised me a ticket, Claire, not him. I'm travelling 11 hours.
Anyone can come that weekend. It's my end-do weekend, so anyone can join in.
Yeah, the dressing up theme for anybody that wants to know is being a fire person. So if you need to go to the stag or hen, sten, however you want to call it
It's
nowadays.
a hen-do.
There we go. Then we go with dressing up as a fireman.
Oh, then. So we've been the Tilton Talk Show. I've been Paul Hipkiss. It's good night from me, and it's good night from Mark Meredith.
It's a good night from me, and it's a good night from Craig Courtney.
And it's a good night from me. I can't do it. I can't say his name. So it's a good night from the chairman. I can't give it to Mark Adams.
Oh dear. Yeah, thanks, guys. It was brilliant. And a good night to everyone. And Claire, what's a hen do? It lays eggs. Over to you, Claire.
It's good night from me, and I can't wait to see everyone on Saturday down in Reading. And it's good night from the road with the claret flag.
It's good night. Thanks, Claire. It's faded, but it's 30 years old. But it's anyway. Good night from me, and a good night from our main man Martin. Over to you, Grange.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me. Have a good night, everyone. Hopefully, we'll do the double or the treble with the ladies as well.
Yeah.
It's good night for me. I've got to go to bed in a minute, so I've got to get up, and I'll hand you over the pool.
Yeah, sleep well, mate. And good night from Chris Browne, last but not least.
It's actually Rob Careless's double with darker hair.
I do a show with him actually every couple of weeks in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately. Really ugly, isn't he?
Good night, all. Keep
Cheers, thank you. See ya.
Cheers, Grace. Take it easy, mate.
Right.
Happy with you soon, mate.
Yeah.
So is it true I can have your ticket, Rob?
Well, if you promised to buy me a programme, so I'll be stupid to turn it down, wouldn't I?
Granger's going to sleep with your scarf now, Rob.
You didn't get it back, Rob. Now he knows who you are. That's it. He's going to sell it on eBay.
To be honest, I can't wait to buy a flag, and I'm going to buy a cap, and I'm going to buy a badge, and I'm going to buy, I don't know, really, loads of stuff.
You keep saying buy, you really mean steal.
Will you be able to buy all this with your pocket money?
Yeah.
How much do you get in prison nowadays?
Craig said he'll count it out for me.
Yeah, I've got to one and stopped.
Are you allowed out on a Sunday, Mo?
I hope so. Well, if I'm going to get the hold of that programme,
I'll post it.
You won't be able to get through the metal detectors with that tag on. You'll have to think of another way to get in.
I'll have to have a think.
Good luck for you, really.
Got
We're off, by the way.
Are we off?
That was such a good show. Such a good pet.
It was, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he's brilliant, isn't he?
It's good.
Chris, you'll have to snip that end bit when he's talking about Big Kev, and I'll send it to him.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Well, I'm going to go some time for the toilet.
Yeah, no worries, Claire.
See you later.
Yeah, see you later.
Bye.
Good one. Yeah, good show.
Yeah, I could do the big shit.
Very good show.
Always one that lowers the tone, ain't there?
We're BetMGM Sports and Casino. We know things aren't always golden. That's why we offer you the tools to keep your place safe. Set timeouts to always ensure you take a break when you feel like you need it. Set reality checks so you know exactly how long you've been playing. And set deposit limits to help control what you spend. Stay golden with BetMGM. Play responsibly.
18 plus.
Worried about what ingredients are hiding in your groceries? Let us take the guesswork out. We're Thrive Market, the online grocery store with the highest quality standards in the industry. We restrict 1,000 plus ingredients, so you can trust that you'll only find the best high quality, organic, and sustainable brands, all free of the junk. With savings up to 30% off and fast carbon neutral shipping, you get top trusted groceries at your door, and you can stop worrying about what your kids get their hands on. Start shopping at thrivemarket.com/podcast for 30% off your first order and a free gift.
This podcast is proud to be part of the TalkSport Fan Network. TalkSport. Powered by fans.